Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. I am talking about the new Pat McGrath Dark Galaxy palette, which is a collaboration with Star Wars. Here it is. And I'm not sure who this is, looking mean and scary on the front of this palette. I am so not a Star Wars person. I think I've only seen one Star Wars movie. And so I have no idea who this is, but I like it, and it just brings a different makeup aesthetic, different vibe to my collection. As far as packaging, I think it looks cool, so I'm here for it, okay? Even though I'm not a Star Wars fan, I'm here for it. I'm here for the theme and the color story of this palette. So this is the color story of the palette, and of course we have this little card right here, and it is a 6-pan palette. It is so pretty. And when you open the palette, you may notice it's a little bit different compared to the other 6-pan palettes. We do not have that little old school, I'll just bring out my bronze temptation, that little old school, as I call it, legal envelope elastic bungee cord packaging with the 2 prongs, because you know a lot of people kind of complain about this because it can kind of close on you when you're trying to use the palette. However, this palette does it the most on me, which can be very annoying. But this one right here is actually just a flip up, and it has a magnetic closure right here. So it may look a little thinner, but that's because you don't have the extra flap, and it's just smooth and sleek. And it does feel a little bit lighter. On the front, we have the Star Wars logo with the Rise of Skywalker. We have our little hieroglyphic letters, and then we also have Pat McGrath Labs. It says Mothership. You know, the small Mothership palettes are Mothership without the vowels present. And then we have Shadow palette, and it says that the weight of this palette is 12 grams or 0.42 ounces. And once you open the palette, it is good for 12 months, and all the ingredients are on the back. So this palette actually released a part of her collab, and along with some other products. She has some lip balms and I think some lipsticks in the new packaging. And it released on December 13th, which was a Friday. And I know, like, she was super backlogged, I guess, with Black Friday orders and Cyber Monday orders and the sale that she was running. So it actually took quite a while to get a shipping notification. But finally, I got something on the 20th of December, and I had my palette by the 23rd, so Friday to Monday. So I appreciate them shipping out the palette fast and doing expedited shipping, considering that Christmas is tomorrow, because I'm filming this on Christmas Eve. So happy holidays to everybody. And I just really appreciate her getting that right, because I know a lot of people are really kind of upset. Now let's go ahead and get swatching, but there are a couple things I forgot to talk about with the palette. Of course, we know this palette retails for $65, but I was able to pick it up with the early access discount, which was 10%. And Pat McGrath is also on Ebates, so I was able to redeem or get cash back when purchasing this palette. Now, there is actually one repeat shade in this palette, and it is called Smoked Amethyst. This is Smoked Amethyst right here. And Smoked Amethyst can be found in the Metamorphosis 6-pan palette that came out for holiday release 2017. Now, for me, that's not an issue because I do not own the Metamorphosis palette, but it's something to keep in mind. And this palette actually contains 4 shimmers and 1 matte, unlike the Gold Galactic palette, which has all shimmers. So let's go ahead and get to swatching. First up, we have the shade Cosmic, which is a beautiful shade, and it's very duochrome. And this shade is kind of reminiscent, I'm gonna swatch it again, to a special shade. It's not highly pigmented, but it's more of a topper shade, and it's really, really pretty. Next up, we have Venomous Void. Go ahead, I was like, I guess I didn't pick it up very well on my finger, so that's Venomous Void. And then we have Saturnalia, I believe that's how you say it, which is, oh my God, look at this shade. You know I love a good red, sparkly cranberry shade. So I'm here for this. Super pretty. Next up, we have Smoked Amethyst, which is a gorgeous shade as well. And then we have Odyssey. which is beautiful. This shade is a little bit chunkier, but very smooth when you blend it out. Very creamy and high shine. And then we have Bronze Nebula. And Bronze Nebula and Odyssey are very similar in formula. But I would say Odyssey is definitely a little bit more chunkier than Bronze Nebula. And these are the swatches. Look at this color story. It's beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our 3 looks. I'm hoping my eyes do not decide to betray me, meaning by watering and tearing. I did just film 3 looks using Galactic Gold. My eyelids are primed using my Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Butterscotch. And I have picked up my Wayne Goss number 16 brush. And we're gonna jump in with Venomous Void. There is only one matte, remember, in this palette. So this is Venomous Void right here. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in my transition area. I'm just gonna blend it back and forth. Ooh, and it's a very pretty color. So if you see little specks of glitter, it's because I've been filming because I really wanted to play with these palettes and get these looks up for you guys. And then, you know, I'm gonna go have fun for Christmas. So I'm just blending it back and forth, and this is so pretty. And I'm going to just intensify the color, build it up some. And I'm just still using that same number 16 brush, but now I'm going in with my little kind of patting motions, and then I'll blend it out, and that way you ensure that you kind of have maximum pigmentation, especially when using such a large fluffy brush. And I'm just blending that out, making sure it's smooth because it is such a dark color. And this matte is actually pretty smooth because Pat's mattes are really pigmented and can stick. Especially where you put your brush down the first go around. It can stick and can be a little hard to blend out. So some people like to set their primers, but I did not set my primer. Okay. So I'm just kind of fanning that out, just kind of blowing that out right there. I'm very happy with how my crease looks. I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Builder Pro brush, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Odyssey. Now, Odyssey was a little bit chunkier, so I'm just gonna put my brush down and then smooth it out. There we go. So this shade, I would definitely kind of be careful on first because you might need to do your base afterwards because, like I said before, it's a little chunkier and you have a little fallout. I think I'm actually going to change brushes. I'm going to go in with my Rephr P21 brush right here, and this is like a matte. This is a prototype brush, so that's why it says P, but it's great for kind of picking up shades like this. Yeah, and just helps it apply because I really don't want to use my fingers. I definitely could, but I don't want to. And this is just such a beautiful smoked color. Yes. But let's just see how it looks with the finger. Just for testing purposes. Here it is on my finger right here. Okay, focus, thank you. There we go. Yeah, and you're going to get, of course, maximum pigmentation. But this shade is very, yeah, this shade is a little chunky. It's a little chunky for my taste. Oh gosh. Oh, let's fix that. I think I was doing great where I was before. Okay, that's the thing about makeup, is sometimes it's always a learning process and I have lots of fallout on my face. Okay, same P21 brush by Rephr. I'm just going to press and smooth that out. This formulas are definitely a lot chunkier than I'm used to from her. It's a very pretty color, but I think you shouldn't have packed it on so much. So this is what we're looking like so far. And I'm just like smoothing that color out because those particles, like I said, are chunky. But when you saw me do my swatches, I wiped that P21 brush off, and now I'm gonna go in with the shade Bronze Nebula. This is Bronze Nebula right here. And I'm just going to place this in the inner corner and kind of tap it over that shade Odyssey. Ooh, and I do like how the shade looks. This shade was a little chunkier too. I kind of munches in my swatches, but it's definitely not like the shade Odyssey. It is a lot smoother. Sonia G Builder Pro, I'm going to take the shade Smoked Amethyst right here, and I'm going to just kind of place that in the outer corner. So we have some depth there. That color is really pretty also. Going in with my Sigma Diffuse Crease Brush, I'm just going to blend that out. Just so it's smooth, and then I'm just going to kind of blend the rest of it. Okay, so that turned out very pretty at the end of the day, but you have to be careful with that shade Odyssey. You do. It's really pretty. I'm not mad at it. But now that I know, I know. And I knew because it was chunky. I warned myself. But yeah. So let's go ahead. I'll clean all this jazz up later. And let's just go ahead and jump into this look over here. Okay. Going in with my Wayne Goss number 16 brush. I still have a little product on my brush from the last look. So I'm just going to start with that so we could just get a little bit of color on the lid. And we'll see where this takes us. As you see. It's still just a nice little wash of color. I feel like I have glitter everywhere. And now I'm gonna dip back in, and that is the shade Venomous Void, okay? And now I picked up a lot of color. And it's okay. It's okay, we just blend it out. But sometimes that's why you gotta be careful. That's why I wanted to start off with what I had on my brush at first, but that blended out very nicely. So there we are. Going in with my Sonia G Builder Pro, I'm going to take the shade Smoked Amethyst right here. And I'm going to start packing this on the outer. And I'm going to bring it up to the brow bone right here. Mine is about right here. And trace it over. And then eventually I'll make a point when I start kind of blending it out. This color and the other color was a Violet Void together from the other palette would actually be very pretty together. One day I'll do a look with both. It'll probably be like after the new year, to be honest, the way my time is. But one day I'll do a look with both, okay? I got y'all. And we'll see. We shall see. I don't know. We'll see. If I find some time, I'll crank it out. You know I will. Going in with that Diffuse Crease Brush by Sigma, I'm just going to blend it out. Just a little bit, only on the edges. I don't want to disturb any of this, the intensity that we have. But I just want to soften that edge up. Going in with my Rephr P21 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Cosmic right here. And this is the shade that was a little bit more dual chrome in nature, and it wasn't as pigmented. And I'm going to start patting that on the open part of the eyelid. This is really pretty, this color combination together. Yes, please. Thank you. This, you know I'm over here like, yes, I'm here for it. And I will start fusing that together with that Smoked Amethyst so we don't have such a harsh line. Sorry, it's so glittery. I'm looking at it. It's like, okay. I mean, both eyes are very glittery, but yes. And I'm just going to add a little bit more. There we go. And I'm not gonna wet it because I'm really fine with how it looks. Not wet. It looks gorgeous. Or actually, I'll wet it so you all can see what it looks like wet. That's what we'll do. And I picked up a little bit more of that shade, and I grabbed some Maybelline setting spray right here. And I'll just go give my brush a nice little spritz, and we'll see what this looks like. Oh yeah, so it just makes it, you know, makes it sparkle a little bit more, so it doesn't look bad, it doesn't crumble, it doesn't do anything this. Actually, honestly, I don't know, it might have performed a little bit better if we wet it. I don't know. But then I think like you still have to be careful wetting it because it's still such a chunky shade. But this one is kind of topper in nature, so wetting it isn't the worst. Or you can always use a glitter glue, but it does have great pigmentation on its own because remember I just used concealer. Now with a pencil brush, I'm going to take the shade Smoke Amethyst, and I'm just going to run it underneath my lower lash line to just kind of tie this look together. Now that I have that shade down, I'm going to take my diffuse crease brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the shade, what is this, Venomous Void, tapping it off, just going to kind of diffuse this down below. Soften it up, looks so harsh, and then I'll go in with my liner. All right, now let me do my liner, touch up all this fallout that I have, put some lashes on, and I'll be right. All right, I am back, and these are the final 2 looks. I hope you guys like them. They are so pretty, and I like this eye even though it gave me some trouble, but overall this is my favorite eye at the moment. This shade, it mixes very well in with the other shades. Definitely Bronze Nebula applies a lot smoother than the shade Odyssey. I think you need to make sure you use like a smooth kind of maybe synthetic brush, or you can use like something like the Sonia G Builder Pro. Going in with your finger, I would tread lightly. Don't pick up so much. If you want to apply it with your finger, be sure to kind of press it. Do that like Pat McGrath Instagram thing, you know, you press and pull out, because it is a very chunky shadow. Overall, it's a beautiful shadow, but that formula is a little hard to work with, and it does have a lot of fallout. So overall, I think these looks are gorgeous, and I just love how even though this shadow is sheer, but it has so much sparkle to it, even though it doesn't have like a base color pretty much, but it is beautiful. Both of these looks are great. I'm wearing some lashes that I have no idea what the name is, and then I have on some Pat McGrath Flesh 4 Fantasy lipstick, and I'll just leave the rest of my makeup details down below. So let's go ahead and jump into one last look. All right, I am back. Time for the 3rd look. I'm going to go in with my Sonia G Builder brush, and I'm going to start with the shade Saturnalia, I think. Saturn? Yeah, this sounds Saturn. Anywho, Builder Pro, Saturnalia. I'm just gonna pick up some of the shadow. Ooh, and you know I love a good red cranberry shade, so you already know I'm excited. Just tapping out that concealer using my Born This Way multi-sculpting concealer, shade Butterscotch as usual, and I'm going to start patting this on the inside, and I'm just so happy. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful, and I kind of know where I'm going with this look, and I kind of don't. So I'm just gonna put this in the middle, blend it in. It has so much sparkle in it. I'm here for it. Going in with a Wayne Goss number 19 brush, I'm going to take the shade Venomous Void right here, the matte shade, and we're going to blend around our main shadow Saturnalia. Just going to blend this back, or not blend it back, but just blend this around. And I guess I could have started off with this first, but you know, it's good to play with other shapes. And I'm using a smaller brush so it doesn't go everywhere, and we're not touching that shade Saturnalia. And then I'm just gonna kind of fluff it out a little bit. Now with a Sigma diffuse crease brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Saturnalia again. And I'm going to blend this to meet the shade Venomous Void. And I'm going to kind of flick it out on the outside. Just so it's not like a harsh line how it is here, it's more diffused. And with a Rephr P21 brush, going to pick up the shade Cosmic, this duochrome shade here. Just gonna pick up a little. It's like, did I pick up any? Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm gonna pat this in the inner corner. It's a little inner corner pop. With my Sonia G pencil brush, I'm going to go in the shade, what is this? Something, Smoked Amethyst. Going in with Smoked Amethyst. And you know, I'm gonna sweep this underneath the lower lash line. And I just here, there we go. Now towards the outer part of the lash line, I'm just still going to use that pencil brush, and I'm going to dab some up here, kind of how we did with that other look, just to give us a little bit of smoke. So we're here with the look, but I feel like, I really like the look, but I feel like I need a little bit something more extra right here. I think I'm going to take that pencil brush. And I'm just going to go back with Smoked Amethyst, but I'm going to put it up here. And then I'll blend it out. I think we just need a little something more there. Then I'm taking my diffuse crease brush by Sigma and blending that out. Now I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of the matte shade Venomous Void. Same brush. And just add that. Well, now it just got real dark. We're going to diffuse that out really well. But it's cute. I like it. All right, I am back, and this is the final look. I hope you love it. I'm over the moon about it. I think it came out beautiful, and these shadows were very easy to work with. So overall, I really love the color scheme of this palette. I am really digging the Skywalker collection. I'm loving Gold Galactic. I'm loving Dark Galaxy. You know, red tones are my thing. And this red is like, it's just the right red, and with the purples, it's beautiful. And it's kind of reminiscent to me of a mini Mothership 5 in a way, only because you have this red shade, and you know, in Mothership 5 you have the Blitz Red, or yeah, Blitz Red sounds about right, or I don't know. And then you have Extreme Aubergine. So this is actually a little bit more purpley than Extreme Aubergine, that's Venomous Void, but it is very purple in nature and does not have to be as dark as the Extreme Aubergine. But you have really beautiful purple and plum shades, which match a lot of people's skin complexions very well, especially if you're on a deeper dark skin tone. So I think this palette is going to be a hit, and I kind of see like why these palettes sold out so quickly, because the color scheme is very cohesive. Berry tones are always usually on trend when you're talking about eyeshadows. Now the formula of the eyeshadows are great. They're very smooth, they're saturated, they have a lot of shine to them. The matte is very smooth, but the only one that is like to me is the one Odyssey. It's very chunky and flaky. I still like the color, but it does take some manipulation, and you do have to be very careful when you place the product down. Unlike these other shades, you can just kind of go in, do your thing, and be done, but this one does require you to be careful. I would definitely probably do my base last if you think you're going to use this shade, because it was very crumbly. As you saw, I had so much fallout. on this side of my face. But other than that, I do enjoy the color, and I think the color is great. I think you can get some very wearable looks out of this palette because you do have the shade Odyssey, you have the shade Cosmos. The bright one is very bright and glam. If like, I think I'm gonna keep this look on for Christmas Eve because it's red and it's festive, and why not? But you have this gold bronze and you put it with this purple matte, so I think it's going to be a great palette for a lot of people. And plus, it's a very much of an accent palette also. If you want to bring in a couple brown tones, pop this on, bring in some other type of mattes, and just maybe wear this. This is can be create a very beautiful smoky eye by itself, just all over the lid. This shade works very well all over the lid, so you have a lot of fun options. And I do like the different textures of this palette. Like this one right here is very topper, duochrome. Doesn't have a lot of pigment, but you're going to get a lot of color even though it doesn't have a lot as a base pigment. And you're going to have that duochrome shifting, and it's going to look great as a topper shade over some of these other shades. These two are heavily foiled. Like I said, the texture of this is a little bit more crumbly, but you can just do so much with this particular palette. And I just love how like the color scheme matches the palette. It's not a palette where you're like, oh, the packaging is so bomb and then the inside is like browns. So that's not what's going on right here. So in the future, I would like to see more, a little bit more cohesive color schemes. I'm waiting on her to give us some greens and blues and browns, like really give us, not brown, greens and blues. I'm really waiting for her to give us that. I know she gave us a little sneak peek in the Nocturnal Nirvana one, but I'm really waiting to see like a 6-pan palette, like where she gives us like a teal matte or something like that. I know she could do it. But overall, I think this palette is great. I love it. It's a great addition to my collection. And like I said kind of in my Go Galactic video, that, you know, these palettes and these color schemes are just so great that I don't know where I'm going to put them when I rank on my McGrath palettes, because they're just so well loved. I just really love the color schemes. It's super speaky to me. It's really my vibe. Overall, I do love the palette. I think it's great. And I hope you did get a chance to get your hands on it. And if not, I hope she does restock these palettes, because these little babies I know probably went quick. And I'm not even sure what the thought process is behind when they make these palettes and how many units. But we do have to kind of think about it that, ooh, there are people on the other side of the world ordering the palette at the same time as us. So hopefully she will make more and everybody can get their hands on this, because these two color stories are fabulous. They're phenomenal, and I'm really enjoying them. So let me know down below which looks do you love. I love this look. I love the look where I had the smoked amethyst with the cosmic. That was working for me. I love the other look here, but it was like, whoo. It's a lot going on here, but just let me know down in the comments which look you guys like the best. Give this video a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel, because you know I would love to have you here with me. And you already know what time it is. We got to do our chair dance, so let's hit it. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. I will see you later. Bye.